So in a previous video, I was talking about rejection, and I want to continue with that idea of like a fear around being rejected, but then also compare it to imagine fearing rejection versus actually knowing you're fully accepted as you are. And so I want to do this comparison to kind of show that how you believe, the beliefs you have, is creating your world and how you see things in your world. So if I look at the side of fear of rejection, if you go around, afraid that others are going to reject you, and, it could be relating to work, it could be relating to relationships, if you're afraid of being rejected, I also use that word not accepted. Like if I am afraid I'm not going to be accepted, if I'm afraid that people are going to reject me, then I go around this world in the world trying to prove that I'm accepted, or that I'm going to be, I need to do things to gain people's acceptance. And so I have to, go into the world and be like, oh, I need this person to like me, so let me do what they want so that I'm accepted. But then you're living by other people's standards, and you're living by what you think other people want, and you're always judging and comparing and looking at ways that you can be to fit into their reality. And again, it's based on this, I'm not going to be accepted, so I need to do these things to be accepted, or I'm afraid they're going to reject me. And in the case too of like maybe you meet someone in a relationship, you get to know them and things start getting, like too close, and you're like, oh, I reject them first. I'll do this and actually reject them because then I won't be rejected. But the thing is, you're actually kind of creating it in yourself then, because you reject that person, that hurts that person. And maybe you don't do it in a way that's like, I reject them, Instead, you're like, well, I'm just going to move on from this relationship because it's not, I mean, we might be getting close, but, I'm too afraid to actually take the next step into this. And so you do things that kind of push them away, or you just walk away from it. You don't, ghost them, things, whatever happens. And so that person then feels rejected. Well, that person then feels rejected, and they're like, wow, I'm not having this. If you meet those certain people that it's like, you might get clingy people that desperately try to make it happen, which was me in the past of like, oh, I'm being rejected. Oh, wait, let me try to make things better. Let me, I don't want this. Let me smooth things over. Or you get the other people that are like, well, I reject you in return. So you're kind of creating the reality for yourself then of like, you just created them rejecting you, and so you have this aspect in your life of fear of rejection versus the aspect of knowing 100% who you are and knowing 100% that you're accepted as you are, just as you are. So you can go around the world being accepted. And the amazing thing that I have found is that as I step more from this place of like fear of not being accepted, or, like I want people to accept me, so I, fit myself into their world. And I've been switching over to this side of I am fully accepted as myself. What I find is I attract people that are right there aligned with me, and they accept me fully as I am. So I am living who I want to be, and I have surrounded myself with people that accept me fully who I want to be. That said, there are religions, there are sexes, there are, like we have gay communities and other communities that it's like, oh, people see them and they're like, no, we don't accept this. We reject this. And again, with religions, with all kinds of other social things that we've been brought up with rules that are saying this is not acceptable. So yes, stepping into a world where you know that people are already not accepting this kind of, we'll call it behavior, this kind of person that you are, it's sad to think about, but also I want to bring this up as it is a very difficult place to step into and be like, I'm gonna be me, fully me, and I am gonna see that there's people around me that don't accept me. But those people I don't have to stay in touch with unless you want to keep feeling that rejection. If people don't fully accept you, why are they in your world? Is it because you don't fully accept yourself? So if you keep bringing in people that don't accept you for who you fully are, there's still something in yourself that is saying, oh, I'm not going to be accepted or acceptable as I am. At a certain point, can you move on from those people? Can you work through this stuff in yourself, move on from those people, and have everyone that surrounds you fully accept you? Now, granted, sure, you might go out into the world and there's still going to be people that don't really fully accept you. But imagine living a world where you get to be yourself every single day. You get to fully be who you are, who you want to be, versus the rejected, fear of rejection, fear of not being accepted person that is always molding themselves and shifting and changing and having to fit into other people's lives. Like, which one do you want to live in where it's like, oh, I'm not fully satisfied because I'm not really living the way I want to live, versus I really get to live how I want to live. And sure, there's some people that don't really accept me or see me, but there's a whole community that I've now surrounded myself with that does fully get me, does fully love me just as I am. And yes, it's difficult to go from the one aspect to the other. And for me, I have found as well that I move around the world from place to place and I get to reinvent myself every time I go to another community, another city, another place. So it is kind of an easier way. So when you're really dug in with a community, if you really have a family that you're with, and you're not satisfied in there because you're not fully living yourself, it is difficult to switch and to like uproot yourself and be like, okay, I'm out of here, you know. So I put this out there as this is one belief of I'm not believing that I'm going to be accepted. So I have fears around being rejected, and those fears constantly mean that I'm trying to fit in with what and mold myself and be this reality that's not really me, versus knowing who I am and knowing that I can be accepted, knowing I am accepted, not just can be, but I am accepted for who I am. So which reality are you living in, and which one would you rather be? And a lot of it is based on your belief. Like, do you believe and fear being rejected, or that you're not accepted or won't be accepted, fears of not being accepted, versus I am acceptable just as I am. I am worthy just as I am. I am lovable just as I am. And start to step into that belief. And if you switch from this belief of I'm not acceptable, I'm gonna be rejected, or I can't be rejected, what do I do? If you switch to this other one of I am fully me and accepted, like, you have to step into a power in it, you know, and know it that I am acceptable just as myself. And that will change your life. Like, it really will change your life. You will be completely different going from the one to the other. And you can fully be who you want to be in the world. So I'm going to share different ideas and concepts and beliefs of how you are in the world, and really noticing then of not only what you believe, but how that creates your reality and how that shifts who you are in the world. And down below, I have some links to some free guided journeys. They're like guided meditations or visualizations that you can sign up for, and they help you step into your worth. And again, it's stepping into that worth is who and what you be in the world. So I am AmyC with You Finding You. I'm an intuitive and transformational coach. And I want to help you like step into who you really want to be in yourself, like really, really authentic, and be yourself and see how you can create that reality for yourself. And again, if you are enjoying and getting value out of these videos, do hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next video.